Okay, ladies and gentlemen, first leg, Michael to throw first. Game on.
Barney was pointing somewhere off stage, but now all eyes are on this pair on the stage.
96.
It is the former king of Dutch darts against the kid who came along and nicked his crown, and now he rules the world, Michael van Gerwen. But only Phil Taylor has beaten MVG more times than Barney.
And look at some of the high-profile games
96.
which Raymond van Barneveld has triumphed over MVG. The final of the Grand Slam, the final of the Premier League, the World Championship, of course. Not the last one, the one before.
100.
Didn't he put that right, Michael van Gerwen, last year in the semi-final? He was untouchable at Alexandra Palace, and so far he's been untouchable here. Michael van Gerwen averaging 110.
Are we sure that Michael van Gerwen won that one of the Worlds? Because then Barney averaged 109. You don't lose with 109 average over 8 sets, surely.
But it seems, I think Barney's been beaten with a higher average before.
Raymond, you require 156.
Or was it Barney that beat Taylor with a higher average? Anyway, 156, signature shot, not happening, and Michael van Gerwen will come back looking at 114 to take the first leg. Yeah, 110 average throughout this tournament, Michael van Gerwen. May have to produce something similar. And that's not a bad way to go about it, with Raymond van Barneveld waiting on double 8 to break in the first leg. Have some of that, old pal.
Not bad, MVG. 110 average versus John Michael. 110.7 average against Cristo Reyes. He was 3-1 down against Cristo and rattled off the last 5 legs in round about 60 darts. We're talking world record territory there, those 5 legs.
He likes world records, Michael van Gerwen. 23.4 in Aberdeen in the Premier League. They have played in the Premier League this year, and talking about high-profile wins for Raymond van Barneveld. Barney beat him in Manchester, and they're going to play the second show in Belfast this week on Raymond van Barneveld's 50th birthday.
58.
He likes birthdays.
Michael van Gerwen said he's going to give him a present, and that's an exact quote. I don't think he means a box of chocolates or
39.
a bunch of flowers.
MVG down to a finish on the Barney throw. Barney probably needs a treble. Doesn't get one.
Michael, we require 164.
Treble 18. For the bullseye. It's a massive one. Michael van Gerwen. 164 checkout for a 12 darter and a break of throw. And can Raymond van Barneveld live with what MVG is chucking at him right now? Because I'm not sure many people in the world could.
Simon Whitlock joked after beating Michael Smith. He doesn't mind which one of these he gets. They're both easy, he said. Michael van Gerwen often makes this game look easy. A 114 checkout in the first leg, and then a 164 to break in the second.
Well, Michael van Gerwen dominated the start of the European Tour last year. He dominated the start of the European Tour the year before. But this year, Peter Snakebite Wright denied him the title in the opening European Tour event in Hildesheim a few weeks ago. Strangely lackluster display from the world number 1, MVG, and Peter Wright took advantage. But there has been nothing lackluster from Mighty Mike over the course of this weekend so far.
59. Michael required.
Rutting around the stage like he owns a place, Michael van Gerwen. He's not going to get a dart at double 76. In this combination, but it matters not. Barney out of sight right now, and Michael van Gerwen could already be halfway to victory in a matter of minutes.
58. Michael requires 16.
Double 8. And there it is. Michael van Gerwen. That is a 13-dart leg.
Game on.
He has gone 15, 12, 13. This is top-level stuff from the world number 1, who has the bit between his teeth. And he's looking to book his place in the semi-finals. You talked about the records he's setting. You talked about high-profile victories for Raymond van Barneveld over MVG. Well, that one in the Premier League, of course, brought an end to Michael van Gerwen's incredible televised winning run. 44 games.
Yeah, the very night that he broke that record.
60.
He is capable of going on these runs in any sort of series. We saw him win 3 tournaments, a triple header in Barnsley. We saw him win 5 Euro Tours in a season.
58.
We were genuinely discussing whether he could win all the European Tour events over the season when he started off so incredibly.
It would have rattled him a little bit that Peter Wright beat him in that final in Hildesheim. Doesn't accept anything better than victory, Michael van Gerwen. He says that himself.
58.
However, Barney is looking to stem the tide here. 16. A double 16.
Game shown of full flag. Raymond van Barneveld, 5th leg, Michael to throw first.
It's better from Barney, firing in a 14-darter, but MVG had his poorest leg of the match by some distance, and he is trying to put that right immediately, kicking off 180. Little smirk from Barney.
96.
Quite incredible. That's his first 180 of the match, despite the 108 average that he's chucking. That would have dropped a little.
44.
Because he was unable to follow it with anything like the previous visits.
Only 7 people have beaten Michael van Gerwen in 2017. One of them is Raymond van Barneveld. Peter Wright has managed it twice. Adrian Lewis did it.
80.
Some lesser-known names in there as well. Richie Edhouse, Darren Johnson, Willie O'Connor, and Steve Beaton. Everybody knows his name.
105.
Barney's on a finish. It's a big one. And Michael van Gerwen will be on a rather smaller one.
127. Raymond, you require 160.
Well, this certainly does rekindle Barney's hopes if he can take it out, and that is perfect for him. Absolutely perfect. Double top.
Game
What a check out, Raymond van Barneveld. Just when you think he's beaten, he hits back and hits back hard.
Oh, and he looks pleased with himself, doesn't he? A little smile, Michael van Gerwen in the background. His little tail pulling his socks up. And neither player, 5 legs in, has missed a single dart at a double in this match. Checkouts including 114 and 164 from van Gerwen. 160 from Raymond van Barneveld. And there is MVG's first response.
Oh, and it's good again.
100.
A surprise that it's just a ton for Barney. What can MVG do after a 180? Well, that's perfect for him. And again. And again. Michael van Gerwen, stung by the massive checkout from Raymond van Barneveld, launches into action with back-to-back 180s to leave 141.
40.
Could he?
Michael, you
Could he,
require
Chris Murphy?
141.
Well, he likes ending records. Could he end a 4-year wait on the
89.
European Tour? The answer is no. Of course it's no. It never happened. It never will happen.
100.
Well, the leg's not quite one yet. Michael van Gerwen to break straight back. Double 16 he wants. It's an 11-dart response from the world number 1. He does it so often. Just when somebody finds something special to throw at him, Michael van Gerwen he goes into overdrive. He did it against Cristo
57.
Reyes. He was 3-1 down and then just went berserk for 5 legs. When his back is against the wall, he has this ability to find his best stuff. And look at those legs. 15, 12, 13, 14, 12, 11. Everything in 4 or 5 visits to the board. And he's in again.
And he hasn't averaged less than 110 so far in this tournament.
57.
Astonishing numbers these two are producing. And there we see Michael van Gerwen. The average does go up above 100.
100.
Well, it was over 110 for a second there, I think. but it's just under that. He's got a tournament average round about 109, 110. What can you do to stop this man?
100.
The response, Dan. Barney lands what should be a knockout blow. Michael van Gerwen bounces back with a 9-dart attempt.
89.
And Raymond still in the spin. Although, he could apply some pressure.
140. Michael requires 75.
Not a gimme, 75. When you're Michael van Gerwen, in this mood...
35.
Well, he's not
Raymond
hitting everything, it would
64.
appear. And Barney for a third consecutive break in this match and to close the gap to one leg.
First miss from either player. Often players follow each other in the good and the bad. But Barney...
48. Michael
He has
requires
followed
40.
Michael van Gerwen in missing. And he may not get a better chance.
Game shown the 7th leg. Michael van Gerwen, 8th leg. Raymond to throw first. Game on.
Well, it's the first leg of darts that has taken a 6th visit to the board. Such has been the quality that these two have produced over the last 7 legs. Raymond van Barneveld knows he's going to have to step it up even further and win 4 on the spin against the greatest player in the world right now. He's shaking his head
85.
because he expected to fire in a maximum there.
He once hit a 9-darter against Raymond van Barneveld. I don't doubt that for a second. Second dart misses the target, and he knows that chance has gone, and it's annoyed him.
When you've won every single major title in the game, barring the
60.
Champions League, of course, we've only had one of those. When you've won every single one of them, most of them more than once, you're already a millionaire. You're number 1 by a stretch. You've got nothing else to prove. You're setting world records. You're setting records that may stand for years, possibly decades. When you're doing all this, what drives you on to carry on doing it, to carry on setting even better records, to keep winning more titles? And Michael van Gerwen, it's the incredible drive and motivation.
84.
Money's part of it.
Winning, performing is part of it as well. Part of the reason that Michael van Gerwen says he does play so many tournaments
60. Raymond, you require
is because he likes to put on the best performance for the fans, and he sees on-stage practice as the best kind of practice. You'll rarely find him chucking a dart. I mean, he was
94.
didn't have a dartboard up at home for a long time last year. But also the tournaments he ducks out of as well, it's to keep himself fresh, make sure that he can give the fans the best
Raymond, you
entertainment.
require 40.
And boy, it is entertaining to watch the kind
Game
of
shot in
ridiculous
the
start
8th leg.
that he can throw. Raymond van Barneveld is not finished yet, but you would expect he will have to produce something very, very special in this leg if he's going to stop Michael van Gerwen moving into the semi-finals.
Well, even if Barney can find a break here, he would have to break MVG again in the final leg. And with how this game has gone,
95.
you're kind of expecting Michael van Gerwen to get darts for an 11 or 12 darter at some point before the end of this game. And it might well be this one, because he kicks off ton 40, ton 40. He is on course for an 11-dart leg. And look at that. That is world-class
81.
stuff from a pair of them. Barney has only had 4 darts at double. He's averaging 100, and he's only been allowed 4 darts at double. He's hit 3 of them.
2 world-class players on that stage. But it looks like the man who is currently the greatest of them all is about to get the job done, and about to get it done
100.
with an 11-darter.
Require 41.
He's hit 14 180s this weekend, and that one sets up a shot
Game
for 41, which he
and
takes
match.
out with a minimum of
Michael
fuss.
van Gerwen.
It is an 11-darter from MVG to close it out. Raymond van Barneveld, the 160 checkout, very nearly rekindled his plans for a second Euro Tour title, or an assault on a second Euro Tour title, but MVG has got a 15th in his sights.